Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel, where I talk about what's been said, reflect on all the news regarding Chelsea, giving you my thoughts on it. More importantly, as always, asking for yours. Today, we are learning to speak English. We are reacting to this. Chelsea expect over 50 million pounds sterling. No, not the player. The currency for Noni Madueke as Arsenal begin talks. Of course, the players agreed terms with Arsenal. Wow. Absolutely huge, of course, just to really stick up the Arsenal fans. There's been like loose reports that Chelsea are monitoring the Ethan Nwaneri situation. Should he become available with contract talks like breaking down or something. Mental. So much money for a player. We're going to get into it. Worth mentioning, lots of Chelsea players are going to Arsenal, or have been for the last few years. I did a video on it on the second channel, Football Yannick, about this. It's kind of Chelsea related, but I wanted to look at it through an Arsenal fan lens, so I did it on the second channel. But this, of course, is the Chelsea channel, Football Therapy, and thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the content, as always. Do consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing if you're new, or even if you're not new and you find yourself returning to my content, but you're yet to subscribe. Why don't you just subscribe? Alright, mate. Yeah, so we are going to react to this article. I'm not going to screenshot the whole thing, but it's by Sam Wallace of The Telegraph. And yes, it obviously speaks about this move, which has come as a bit of a shock, but maybe perhaps not that much of a shock, because Chelsea, certainly this ownership, they are a trading model. Abramovich was as well. We made lots of money selling in the Abramovich era, and that's poised to continue, but perhaps a little bit more radical selling here in terms of willingness to sell to rivals. Kovacic to Man City, Mason Mount to Manchester United, Kai Havertz to Arsenal, all for lots of money. Huge transfer fees, and alleviating themselves of big wages, certainly in the Kovacic and Kai Havertz examples. It won't be alleviating big wages because Noni Madueke is on 50k a week. I mean, it sounds bloody nice to the normal people out there, but 50k a week. For an example, guys, Kai Havertz is on like 300k a week at Arsenal. 50k a week. Even if they give him half of that, if they give him 150k, he'll be trebling his wages. Now, Noni has been pretty decent for Chelsea. He's been pretty good, I'd have to say. And he was looking at the pay rises of Cole Palmer. And obviously, Cole Palmer's in a different stratosphere as a player. But Cole Palmer got a pay rise. Nico Jackson got a pay rise. Caicedo is about to get a pay rise. He wanted to be the next guy. And considering he's only on 50k, which is, even by Chelsea standards, with our wage structure, it's pretty nominal, it's pretty small. Like, you can imagine Jamie Gittins is going to be on 100k a week, which again is not massive in terms of Premier League top 4 club at all. So he probably feels like he's been underpaid. Not underpaid because he came from PSV in the Dutch league. So yeah, he was probably like 50,000k a week. One can speculate he would have been on 20k a week less at PSV, so to go up to 50. But he's probably looking around at his teammates. He's probably looking around at his England teammates as he wins man of the match for a competitive England game for Tuchel. He's probably thinking, it's time to earn more money, as Mason Mount did at Chelsea, I think. So we're going to react to this article and we're going to speak about it a bit more. Chelsea are expecting to field offers of more than 50 million pounds. Bearing in mind, 33 million euros we bought them for, which at the time seemed like a lot of money. 29 million pounds, 2.5 years ago, whatever it is. So yeah, 29 million pounds, and they want to sell him for over 50. I mean, we certainly raised his profile, but is he that much of a money player? I mean, I understand why Arsenal fans, the ones who, they'd be fuming, not because Madueke is a bad player, but because you're giving Chelsea this much money again for a player who simply doesn't solve your problems. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have a Bukayo Saka backup, but Nwaneri did a good job at that. They need a left winger, they need a striker, they need all sorts, mate. The Telegraph Sport first revealed Arsenal's interest in Madueke last month, and the North London club are now advancing talks for the 23-year-old. It remains to be seen if Arsenal will be willing to do a deal at such a price. Yeah. With sporting director Andrea Berta known to be exploring numerous options for the attacking positions, but there is a growing confidence that Madueke could soon be heading to the Emirates Stadium. So Chelsea paid £30 million. I think it was just under 29, which is being rounded up, but 29 looks better in optics for the selling club, doesn't it? In January 2023, when he joined from PSV Eindhoven, and are expecting to make a significant profit for the England international. Indeed, as reported by the Telegraph Sport last week, Chelsea will be mindful that Newcastle United have also shown a willingness to pay at least $50 million for Forest winger Anthony Elanga. 55 million for Elanga, all in. That does seem like a lot, doesn't it? And Madueke's, been playing European football as an England international. I know Elanga's a Sweden international, whatever, but, the acceleration in discussions over Madueke comes after Chelsea completed, of course, the signing of Jamie Gittins for £48.5 million. Speaking at the Club World Cup in the United States in the victory after Palmeiras, Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca said this: "Noni has been very important for us during the season, but my message to the players and to the club is that I only want players that are happy to be with us. The ones that are not happy are free to go." It's not just for Noni, he said rightly. It's for everyone. It's all the players. Madueke is capable of playing on either wing, which he's out of position on the left, yeah. Which means he would compete with Bukayo Saka at Arsenal for the right wing, as also challenging on the left. Arsenal have shown interest in Rodrigo of Real Madrid, but it remains unclear whether the Brazilian will be attainable in this transfer window. If Arsenal do choose to progress a deal for Madueke, the winger would become the 7th player to join the club since the summer of 2019. Of course, they've just 7th! Again, second channel. I speak about Mikel Arteta's obsession with Chelsea players. So if you haven't seen the second channel, go check that out. Madueke has scored 13 Premier League goals in 67 appearances. Of course, 3 of them coming in that Wolves game. So it's nearly 1 in 7 apart from that hat trick. With 5 assists. It's not great when you read it like that. 2.5 seasons, 5 assists. It's mad, isn't it? 5 assists in 2.5 seasons. That is 2 assists per season. Well, exactly. It's exactly 2 assists per season. Yeah, look, it's wild. Look, we can speak about the Ethan Nwaneri thing as well briefly. That is, I guess that's perhaps his agent trying to put the feelers out there and apply pressure on Arsenal. I don't think Nwaneri's looking at Chelsea like an obvious pathway of more game time and Arsenal. Especially with the amount of pocket players we've got, Santos, which apparently he's been earmarked for that position. Fernandes, Palmer, Stevao, others, it's just not an obvious route for Nwaneri, but it would be very funny. I mean, let's have that right. It would be very funny. In the great theatre and joke and laugh of football, it would be banter. It would be top banter. Right. So, would Noni want to go to Arsenal? Clearly, yes. He doesn't have an allegiance to Chelsea. I mean, he's come from the Tottenham Academy. He's currently playing for Chelsea, and he's willing to go to Arsenal. So this guy is fine, jumping around the big London rivals. He's got no issue with that. He will probably be very pleased he's come to Chelsea, because Chelsea platformed him. They made him an England international. He's won a trophy. He's played European football. It's been a very good move for him. Like I said, he's going to get that pay rise. He will at least treble his wages by going to Arsenal, which is very alluring for anyone in the world out there. If I say to you, what do you earn now? Would you consider trebling it for, this kind of move? Everyone would be like, yes. He's not a boy, a Chelsea fan. He's not, do you know what I mean? It's an amazing financial opportunity for him. And let's be fair, let's not disrespect Arsenal here, as much as, that's fun as well. He's not going to Saudi Arabia. Arsenal are a very good team. They're a very well-coached team. They're consistently good. I know they're a bit of a meme, the whole ever the bridesmaids thing, and Arsenal fans will look at the potential signing of Noni Madueke and be like, this will sustain us as bridesmaids. It's not going to push us to league winners. And I tend to agree. 50 million quid is a lot. Now, Gittins isn't an obvious ceiling raiser immediately. He's 3 years younger than Noni, Gittins, and by all accounts, he's a more appropriate, I don't want to say a more appropriate profile, because Noni is a proper 1v1 winger, which Maresca likes, but Gittins is a specialist on the left. Noni, of course, isn't a specialist on the left, and he has a specialist starting in front of him in Pedro Neto on the right. And of course, Javal's coming as well, and he's like a right winger inside player, and the competition's there. I think he's just tired of proving himself to managers and playing a competition, and if he's going to be doing that, he might as well be earning 3 times the amount of money. Again, I'm very mindful not to disrespect Arsenal. Obviously, we banter each other as opposition clubs, and, you know, Arsenal have got all the, you know, the league titles and the cups from pre-war football, and Chelsea have more the prestigious European pedigree in recent years. But yeah, like, you're joining a big club at Arsenal. I don't want to take the mickey too much. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, fine. I think Chelsea fans, I've seen polls, a lot of Chelsea fans are very happy with this, and a lot of Arsenal fans aren't very happy with this, which kind of tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, I'm looking at all kinds of Arsenal. I won't necessarily share them now, but a lot of big Arsenal accounts aren't very pleased with this. But I want to be fair to Noni. He's a good player. He's a good player that can get better. I know those numbers that I read out earlier from the video in this article, you know, 5 assists across 2.5 seasons is pretty lame, but he's also been part of the most turbulent Chelsea time in recent history, so you've got to be fair. And he does look good. He looks good on the ball. He passes the eye test, Noni. He has got a bit of an attitude problem. Maybe that will grow out of that. He's still young, you know. If I was an Arsenal fan, would I want my club spending £50 million or more than, quote, £50 million on Noni? I'd be very upset. I'm pleased as a Chelsea fan we signed him for 29, and I would be very happy to just keep him not now, because he wants to leave, clearly. So that's another thing. He's agreed personal terms of Arsenal. He's made that decision in his head. It's up to Chelsea and Arsenal now. So I find it very difficult. You know, it would be very difficult for him to go on. That's another story. You know, what if this deal breaks down? It doesn't happen, and what happens at the next game? He starts at Stamford Bridge with fans knowing that he agreed a deal to go to Arsenal. He might find it difficult. But then again, you know, Stevie Gerrard agreed to join Chelsea from Liverpool, didn't he? And he seemed to heal from that. Obviously, I'm not, the talent and profile levels of Noni Madueke and Steven Gerrard are not comparable. It just came into my head of like a deal that was agreed that caused, you know, unrest and then was sort of healed. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I think Noni's one of the boys. He's good friends with Cole and guys, and if he could stay and play, I think it'd be all right ultimately. But over 50 million quid is absolutely chicken oriental from an Arsenal perspective. I've just seen ArtetaOut is trending on X, which is, you know, pretty funny, you'd have to say. Yeah, man. What do you guys think, though? I want you to tell me your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Please do leave them down in the comment section below. We, of course, are going to carry on covering all the stories here on the channel. There's speculation, of course, that Bayern might come back in for Nkunku. Now, there was a, you know, obviously horrific injury to Musiala. Nkunku looks like he could be good value to any buyers, whether that be Man United or Bayern Munich. We'll cover that here as developments happen. So, yeah, please do leave your thoughts. As always, thank you for supporting the content, for liking and subscribing. I'll upload all the ruddy time here, mate. So if you do choose to subscribe, do hit the bell notifications icon. And I hope to see you back here soon. Enjoy the football if there is any. Peace.